All right, so are you ready for this one? We are going deep into a story about faith and how it can show up in kind of unexpected ways.
Yeah, and you know what makes this deep dive interesting? We're going to be looking at a personal experience of faith, not just the idea of faith in general.
Right. We're going to be talking about a YouTube video, and it tells a story about this Mahatma, a holy man in India, and he's on this pilgrimage to Mathura, which is this sacred city.
And this journey, it's like completely steeped in devotion. This Mahatma is so devoted to his deity, Thakurji, and he carries Thakurji everywhere,
Everywhere.
everywhere he goes, in a bag.
Wow, that's some serious devotion, like carrying your deity in a bag with you. That's
Yeah.
something else. And the video does a really good job of setting the scene. You've got this Mahatma, he's on a train with other holy men. There's spiritual singing, discussions about faith. You can practically feel the shared belief.
Yeah, totally. And then this is where things get interesting.
Okay, I'm ready.
He's so caught up in all these spiritual conversations that he accidentally leaves his bag. The one with Thakurji in it, on the train's upper berth.
Oh no. It's like that awful feeling when you realize you left your phone somewhere, but a million times worse. The video really shows how devastated the Mahatma is. This isn't like losing your keys. This is like a huge disruption to his whole spiritual world.
You know, it makes you think about our own attachments. What are those things, as objects or rituals that we rely on for comfort and security? What happens when we lose them?
That's a whole other deep dive right there. But, okay, so back to the Mahatma. The story actually takes another crazy turn. Another Mahatma on the train, super nice guy, offers to take everyone to his ashram for a meal.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, but it's a bit of a trip. And it's not until they arrive at the ashram that our Mahatma realizes Thakurji is missing.
Oh, man. Okay, now imagine you're in the Mahatma's shoes. You're traveling. You're having these deep conversations. It's so easy to get distracted. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever forgotten something really important because you were just caught up in the moment?
Oh, all the time. I'm constantly like, where are my keys? Where's my wallet?
Exactly. But for this Mahatma, it wasn't just any object. It was like he lost a part of himself.
Right, totally. Okay, so picture this. They rush back to the train station, and every minute that passes, the Mahatma is getting more and more worried. He's basically convinced that he's lost something irreplaceable.
And then,
Here's where it gets crazy. They get to the station, and the station master, he's totally bewildered. Like, he can't believe what he's seeing, because the train should have left hours ago.
oh, wow.
But it's just sitting there on the platform, and they've checked everything, the engine, the tracks. There's no logical reason why this train won't move.
Talk about a lucky break.
Right. The Mahatma rushes onto the train. He finds his bag exactly where he left it. And you can feel this, like, wave of relief washing over him. And as soon as he steps off the train,
Yeah.
it starts moving.
Yeah.
Immediately. Like, he steps off, and boom, the train is gone.
Whoa, like it was waiting for him.
It's almost as if the train was waiting for him to get his bag. Like, it wouldn't leave without him and his deity. I mean, come on. Was that just a coincidence? Or is there something else going on? Was it a miracle? Like divine intervention just for him?
Well, that's the thing about the story, right? It makes you ask all these questions. Was it a miracle? Or maybe a metaphor, like a way of showing the power of really strong faith?
Yeah, it definitely makes you think about how we see the world. What if what we believe in, our faith, actually affects things around us in ways we don't even understand?
Right. Like maybe there are these forces out there that we just don't get, and maybe they respond to something deeper than, just our thoughts.
Whoa, that's deep.
Yeah.
So it's not really about proving or disproving miracles like scientifically, but more about accepting that there might be more to reality than what we see on the surface.
Exactly. This story is like an invitation to think about those possibilities, to consider that maybe faith really can move mountains, even if those mountains are, a train that won't budge.
And it makes you think about the power of what we believe in our own lives, too. Think about a time when you just knew, like really knew, that things would work out, even when it seemed impossible.
Yeah, those times when you just felt it in your gut, that something was guiding you, protecting you, or maybe leading you towards something.
Like in the Mahatma story, maybe that same energy was at work.
Exactly. It's a good reminder that what's going on inside us, our beliefs, can actually affect what happens in our lives.
It's interesting, too. It wasn't just about the Mahatma's belief. He was with all those other holy men. Maybe their faith, their prayers, even their thoughts played a part in what happened.
You're right. There's something powerful about that shared energy. When people believe in something bigger than themselves, it seems to make their intentions even stronger. Like when people have those near-death experiences, they often talk about feeling this overwhelming love and support,
Yeah.
this presence that they can't really explain? What if that's a kind of collective consciousness, this web of energy that connects us all? Could that be shaping what we go through?
That's a pretty wild thought. Even if we can't explain it scientifically, it definitely has an effect on people.
Absolutely. And that brings up a really important question. Does it matter if we can call something a miracle or a scientific anomaly? If the result is peace, comfort, a stronger sense of faith, isn't that enough?
That's a good point. It's not about getting caught up in definitions or categories. It's about recognizing how powerful belief can be, however it shows up.
Totally. And this story reminds us that sometimes the most important lessons come from the most unexpected places.
Yeah, the story about a Mahatma who loses his deity, it opens up a whole new way of seeing things.
It really does. And it shows how powerful stories can be. They spark our imagination and make us question what we think we know about the world. It's like those old myths and folk tales. People have been telling them for centuries. They might seem kind of crazy at first glance, but underneath they often have these deep truths about what it means to be human, about how we deal with the unknown, and our desire for something more than just everyday life.
Yeah. And even if we don't believe in the same things as the people in those stories, we can still connect with the ideas behind them, like the strength of the human spirit or how faith can help us overcome obstacles, the importance of community and connection. These are universal themes, right? They speak to something inside all of us.
Exactly. It's about seeing that shared humanity that comes through in these stories. No matter who we are or what we believe, we all want the same basic things: to find meaning, to connect with something bigger than ourselves, to experience moments that make us feel awe and wonder.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into faith and what seems like miracles, I have a question for you, the listener. Have you ever experienced something that just didn't make sense? Something that challenged your understanding of the world? Maybe it even made your faith stronger, or made you believe in something beyond yourself.
It could be anything, right? Like a coincidence that felt too perfect, a dream that felt super real, a feeling that you were being guided or protected when you really needed it. It's like the universe is giving you a little sign that maybe there's more to reality than what we can see and explain.
We all have those stories, those experiences we can't explain but that stick with us. What if we shared those stories, explored those moments together? Who knows, maybe it could lead to even more interesting deep dives.
So as you go about your day, keep your eyes open for the unexpected. Pay attention to those little coincidences, those gut feelings that often lead us to something meaningful. And remember, the world is full of mystery and wonder. It's just waiting for us to discover it.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. And until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep that sense of wonder alive.